Judd do his usual and try and clear out, or will he ride a little bit more sensible, maybe let Jake Page lead, see what he's doing, put the pressure on him and then pounce with a few laps to go? I don't think so. Lights are yep, they're on now. Away we go. So a good start and placed it again. His extra little bit of weight, a lack of weight might help too, get him off the line a bit quicker. What do you reckon, Phil?
Yep, and also Jake Page has got away well. Phoenix O'Brien and then Ayad, the next rider through. So everyone through the first couple of corners cleanly, which is good to see.
And I think it's the same with this year that the top three of this class go into the final in Valencia, where the...
Oh, Jake Page already up the inside, Braxy at the hairpin. Big move early on in this race. Intentions clearly laid out. Cards are on the table from the first lap.
Yeah, well, what can Paystead do in reply? And, well, if they start battling at the front, you know what's going to happen with Phoenix O'Brien and Isaac Ayad in there as well.
They'll be right in the equation. The only thing is you only got to run a fraction wide in this category and you could lose 2, 3, 4 positions, especially in the first laps when the riders are very, very tightly packed. And Lazos doing a great job too. I hang on to the back of them now. And Crew Knight having his first outing this weekend, doing a great job all weekend.
He's a big lad too for his age too, Crew Knight.
And the other thing is though too, Braxy still circulating around with fast laps all weekend.
Yeah. All you can do is beat your PBs.
Well, he's racing against the best 190 riders. Oh, Ayad up the inside.
Oh,
that is a big move from Ayad there.
And because he can see these two at the front getting away, and he's thinking, I've got to get on the back of these and show some oomph.
Well, he's obviously confident that he got the pace to run with the two guys that are making that little bit of a break. So we'll see what happens over the next lap. The first flying lap, though, Braxy, fastest lap of the race, a 43.45 for Jake Page, a 43.47 for Judd Playstead, 44.1 for Isaac Ayad, but he also had to get past those riders at the same time on that lap. Lazos hanging in there as well with a 44.040.
Well, this is what we can expect to see all year in this 190. Oh, as Paystead goes up the inside of Page to retake the lead at the beginning of this fourth lap. Wow, that was a big move. I was going to say we're going to get more of this as the year goes on.
Well, these two get along pretty well, but they're going to be at the front battling each other for the championship for the entire season by the look of things, if the first two rounds are anything to go by.
Now, can Jake Page do anything in one of his favourite passing manoeuvres? Not quite this one in the pit corner hairpin.
Maybe he's just going to let the powder dry on that corner for a little bit, possibly save it up for later on in the race as they scream past our commentary position. That gap now, Braxy, is opened up to 1.8 seconds between Jake Page and Isaac Ayad.
43.4, 43.7 and 43.9 for our top three.
And since Ayad got past, Phoenix O'Brien has not let him go, and Lazos is right on the back of them as well. So, I've got one down.
Oh, no, that's
and it is Rocket Ronnie again.
Same corner 3 times.
So, same corner, turn 5 has claimed him. That's 3 times he's crashed at that corner in the 2 races so far, and Jake Page now has a very handy lead. That will be out to about 2.5 seconds over the pursuing pack that is now Ayad up into second place, O'Brien in third and Lazos in fourth. But as it happened in the first race, Braxy, we're only on just 5 laps completed. We've still got another 16 laps to go.
And I think we might have to start calling Judd Bart Simpson, because he's a bit of a slow learner at the moment. He keeps making the same mistakes. Wow, that was the last thing I expected in this race, for Judd to crash, let alone crash in the very same corner where he binned it twice earlier on today.
Well, it's a corner that's claimed a lot of victims so far this weekend.
Yeah, but most of them only done it once.
So let's have a look at the lap times now of our race leader. 43.5 on the last lap for Page, who probably had to take evasive action. He's just done the fastest lap of the race, Braxy, of 43.335. So I think he was probably also having to take evasive action on that last lap to avoid Playstead when he went down. That's probably cost him a couple of tenths of a second.
Now I'm expecting Phoenix O'Brien to have a look at our third place getter, Isaac Ayad. Well, second place get a part of me. I'll tell you what, O'Brien had a good look there going into turn 5, didn't he?
We'll keep our eye also on the lap times of Playstead, sitting in 5th position against the lap times of the riders in front, and see how much he's catching up per lap. But at the moment, the lap times are very, very, very close. So it's going to be well into the second half of the race affair when Playstead manages to catch up those 3 riders in front. Of course, the more they battle. Ayad's run wide. He's run wide into turn 1. He's off the track. He's back on again now, but he's now got a very, very big gap to Phoenix O'Brien and Nicholas Lazos, who have moved up into positions 2 and 3.
And Playstead the fastest lap of the race on lap 7, a 43.266. So about 0.3 of a second quicker than Page's best time, but 0.3 quicker than his previous lap. But he's got a lot of room to make up. But we've just got to make sure, or Jake, that he rides a sensible race, doesn't try and break too many lap records at the moment as he goes around to complete lap number 8 of this 21 laps. 43.723, so a couple 100-second difference at the moment in that his own lap time.
Yeah, 43.9 for Phoenix O'Brien, a 44 flat for Lazos. The fastest lap of the race on the last lap, though, by Playstead, a 43.2. What can he do on the next lap?
Well, he did a 43.3, that one to be the fastest out of all of them on track.
Yep, by nearly 0.7 of a second. So it's going to be very interesting over the next few laps, especially with Ayad breaking himself at turn 1. He's dropped now off that pack, so he hasn't got the 2 riders in front dragging him along like he had before.
And Nick Lazos hasn't let Phoenix O'Brien get away by too much either. Look at him close up under brakes in the battle for second and third.
Well, this is Lazos' best ride of the weekend. He's been somewhat struggling a little bit, didn't qualify as well as he would have liked. He had a couple of crashes also on Friday. This is going to give him a lot of confidence heading into the next round.
Now, look where Playstead is in relation to second and third there, Phil.
Yep, he's closed up that gap a little bit. A couple of laps where he's been faster than the riders in front, even though the riders in front, both Phoenix O'Brien and Nick Lazos, set their fastest laps of the race on the last lap. 43.7 for both of them. The race leader, 43.646 on the last lap.
So Playstead will be about another second quicker than these guys in front of him. As Isaac Ayad will feel the wrath of an angry Playstead within the next lap or two. A 43.2, so he was 0.5 of a second quicker than Jake Page at the front of the field and 0.7 quicker than Isaac Ayad. So they're on their 10th lap, coming around to complete about half race distance as Jake Page comes onto the back straight. And Nick Lazos, he's just trying to get that shepherd's hook out to hold onto the ducktail of Phoenix O'Brien, hasn't he? Just they can't get that little bit of a gap closed down to try and make a bit of attack going under brakes with him.
And Playstead is now closing right up onto the back of Ayad as well. But when he goes past Braxy, surely it's going to be a big move at turn 1. There it is. Straight away goes past him. Can Ayad now hang on to the back of Playstead, which will drag him up to the riders in front, currently battling for second and third position. And they could very well be in for a very big shock over the next couple of laps when that group of 2 doubles in size to a group of 4.
Yeah, and I think, you know what, you might have picked it beautifully there, Phil, because I think Ayad is going to try and tag onto him. They're doing similar lap times. He's just got to have the confidence to know that he can throw that bike into the corners and it's going to stick for him. He runs it a little bit wide on the exit of the third last turn coming out of the pits.
Oh, Page was into turn 1. He was all out of shape. The back end was squirreling around Brax. He ran wide. Certainly not the fastest entry into turn 1. But he's got enough of a gap there that probably hasn't made a too big a break or a big enough difference for the other riders behind. Have a look at the lap time at this next lap.
Phoenix O'Brien put in his fastest lap of the race so far as they're on their 13th lap.
So all of the top 5, their fastest laps are all in the 43s. And Crew Knight in position number 6 at the moment. His fastest lap was a 46.3, but his last lap, Braxy, was a 46.7. So very, very consistent.
Now, Playstead, what's the gap as they finish this lap between... It was 4.3 seconds that last lap. It'll be down about 3.5, 3.7 as a matter of fact. So he's taken out a second each, so he's still got a chance of finishing second in this race, Phil.
Well, the way things are going, Braxy, you can't predict what's going to happen because we've seen so many unpredictable things happen in this race. I'm target fixated now every time Judd Playstead goes through turn 5 just to see if he's actually made it safely through that corner.
So coming up the complete lap 14, there'll be 7 laps to go. Page drops into the 44s. That's probably a bit due to his moment.
Yeah, the big moment at turn 1, that would definitely be it, because I reckon this lap he's probably going to be back into the 43s. He is a 43.826, a much cleaner entry into turn 1 on that occasion.
Now, has Phoenix O'Brien got a little bit of a buffer over Nick Lazos that he can relax a little bit?
Phoenix O'Brien, his fastest lap of the race again. What's that? 2 out of the last 3, a 43.7. So he's really putting the pressure on Lazos now. Lazos is going with him too.
And a 43.1 for Playstead to be the fastest lap of the race. Almost cracking a 42 in his desperation to get back on the podium, or to get on the podium.
And he's broken the toe of Isaac Ayard as well on board the 20 machine.
Here comes Jake Page again through the second last turn. Ultra fast. Backs it off for about a nanosecond before he gets on it for the final turn. 15 laps down at 43.867.
And of course, remember that Jake Page did finish second in this championship last year, so he's no stranger to running at the front on board the GP 190cc machine. So this is going to be a pivotal round for him this weekend to take away solid points after being just a little bit dejected early on in the weekend.
A little bit. 2.4 seconds between Judd Playstead on Nick Lazos, and there was 0.6 of a second in the lap time. So,
and we've got 6 laps to go.
Yeah, you can say that Playstead, if he stays on board, particularly at turn number 5, has got a good chance of claiming a podium spot as Jake Page goes through to complete lap number 16.
Well, the other thing is, though, too, Braxy, the closer he gets, the more that magnet will just draw him into the back of Lazos' machine. Oh, look at the leg dangle down into turn 1. You can see the desperation and the lean angle in the body language from here. That's probably one of the furthest points away from our commentary position, but you can see how hard Playstead is pushing, grinding those pink knee sliders into the circuit on every opportunity to try and keep the bike up as he makes his way through the tricky infield section now and back over close to the grandstand.
As Page now still the lead of it, about 3 seconds over Phoenix O'Brien. But while they were all in a 43.9, Playstead a 43.2.
Yeah, 1.7 seconds that gap is down to now as well.
Well, it'll be about just under a second by the time I get through, I reckon. 1.2. 1.7 stayed the same.
So 43, actually exactly the same lap time on that last lap for Playstead and Nick Lazos, a 43.836, down to the 1,000th of a second.
Very much so, and they've got just over 3 laps to go. As Jake Page is down the bottom end of the circuit, keeping it all together there as he tries to maintain this lead. Lazos has actually closed back down again. He must have got the hurry up that Playstead is right on him, because look at the gap now as they come sliding through the top end of the circuit.
Lazos had a big moment there, didn't he, Braxy, through that fast corner? But what I'm also wondering is the pressure that Judd Playstead has put on his tyres to make up this distance. Is it now meaning that he doesn't have as much grip left in the dying stages of this race?
Well, let's let him get through turn 5 first before we make that decision.
Well, it's going to be very interesting now because he's closing up. And as I said, it was when he gets close, it's going to be that mag. It's going to draw him in closer into this battle. So we've now got a 3-bike battle for second place. And we will be coming round to complete the 19th lap. So 2 more laps to go. This is going to be a titanic struggle between these 3 to sort out the final places on the podium.
And Playstead going under brakes into turn 1, I reckon I'll move into 3rd position.
Well, and Phoenix O'Brien has ridden a flawless race so far, hasn't he? Under considerable pressure from Lazos.
No, but Playstead didn't do it there.
Lazos just had the perfect position on track.
Oh, not there, he didn't.
No, but Playstead just made room where there wasn't any in that occasion into turn 2. So he's up to 3rd place now. Can Lazos hang on and possibly remount an attack at the hairpin? Fastest lap of the race, a 43.04. Judd Playstead on lap 19.
Is he going to crack a 42 on this lap as he gives chase to Phoenix O'Brien in 2nd position? Nick Lazos is hanging in there as well. He hasn't given hope of a podium position. But the last lap board is being shown to Jake Page. Now they come down. It's Phoenix O'Brien. Placestead's got a little over a kilometre to go to try and move into second position. Phoenix O'Brien can feel the fire of determination from Placestead as he's right on his back wheel with half a lap to go.
Well, I think it's going to be the pit lane hairpin where Placestead is going to probably have to try and make an effort, because through this section here, Phoenix O'Brien has been very, very good. You can see him now covering all of his lines. There's no way through there. We know Placestead is good on the brakes into this corner. Here we go. This is going to be it. Braxy up the inside. The leg dangle. He pushes O'Brien wide. He gets up into second place as our race leader, Jake Page, has set sail for the finish. One more corner to go, and he'll take the checkered flag.
So Page takes it 2 from 2. Placestead recovers from second position and probably puts in his fastest lap of the race. He does on a 43.245 that lap. But Jake Page hanging on to win by 2.6 seconds from Placestead. Phoenix O'Brien, a magnificent ride from him, and equally as good as Nick Lazos, with Isaac Ayed fading there to be 14 seconds adrift, with Crew Knight in his first race here at Oakleigh. Still put in the 46s all the way through the race there, Phil.
Well, what a ride from all of those riders. Absolutely unbelievable. Jake Page, fast and consistent. Placestead, an unbelievable recovery. Phoenix O'Brien smoothed the entire race. Lazos held on there for pretty much the entire race distance, challenging right to the end. And, well, what can you say about Isaac Ayad? I thought that when Placestead went past it could have been a 4-bike battle for the final places on the podium, but he just dropped off in that last race. 21 laps round here in this heat, Braxy. Seriously hard work.
Yes, you're not wrong there. 10 laps around here is seriously hard work. So that'll be Page will take out the day with his 2 wins. And Judd might recover to get 3rd overall. Let's see what the points will be like after that one. Haven't got the points tally from the overalls as yet.